Imagine a shooter that launches with a surge of excitement. But the longer you play, the more you feel something cracking beneath the perfect surface. This is Battlefield 6, a game welcomed far better than anyone expected. Overall reviews climbed to nearly 70%, and recent ones even crossed 75%. After the disastrous flop of Call of Duty, Black Ops 7, a massive wave of COD players rushed in, and for a moment it looked like Electronic Arts had finally caught a real hit. But 2 months pass. The honeymoon phase ends. You level up, grind weapons, play every day, and suddenly realize, Battlefield 6 is good, but it suffers from chronic technical issues. Issues that would have killed any other shooter. The biggest problem? Conquest modes. Since launch, they've had unstable frame rates, stutters, sudden drops, and none of this has been fixed. In Battle Royale, players still clip through buildings, a bug that's been alive since day one. And then the new Winter Offensive update brought a fresh disaster. Sometimes the game simply won't start. To launch a match, you often have to restart the entire game, sometimes 5 times in a row. And all of this happens while the core of Battlefield 6 is genuinely great. It's fun, it's engaging, it's dynamic. But the deeper you get, the clearer it becomes. The issues aren't isolated, they're systemic. And 2 months after release, the technical state of the game still feels as if it launched yesterday. The Winter Offensive update was supposed to be the first real step forward. Players expected a mini-season, new content, and the first hints of long-term development. Instead, they got cosmetics, one snowy map, and a fresh batch of bugs. And you feel it from the very first seconds. The main addition is Icewick Empire State, essentially the same Empire State map, just buried in snow. Visually, it's great. Your character freezes, the screen ices over, and you can only heal by standing near a burning barrel. The atmosphere actually works. But the mechanic collapses the moment the cold keeps damaging you even indoors. And fire can burn your character, but for some reason cannot thaw you out. Balance. Logic. Not today. Worse yet, the snow exists on exactly one map and only in 3 modes. Conquest, Domination, and a reduced player gunfight. For an event, this is embarrassingly little. The new content ends faster than the first match loads. Then comes optimization. After the patch, the game started freezing as if you're running a GPU stress test. Conquest on the snowy map turns into a slideshow. Gunfight and Domination are still playable, but everything else is torture. The interface lags, the netcode behaves chaotically, and match loading breaks constantly. Winter Offensive feels less like an update and more like a server crash experiment. And yet, no matter how much you criticize it, the game still hooks you. But the deeper Battlefield 6 tries to improve itself, the clearer its main paradox becomes. Every attempt to fix something breaks something else. If we put the snowy event aside, Battlefield 6 suffers from a much more serious issue, a content drought. And comparisons to Battlefield 4 are unavoidable, because BF4 set the standard the series measured itself against. A standard the 6th installment, unfortunately, cannot reach yet. Let's start with maps. At launch, Battlefield 6 offered 9 maps. Battlefield 4 had 10. The difference seems small, but the quality is incomparable. Maps like Shanghai, Zavid 311, Hainan Resort, or Operation Locker became icons of the franchise. Everyone remembers them. In 6, only Liberation Peak truly stands out. The rest are either technically unstable, filled with dead zones, or ruined by snipers sitting on rooftops. Blackwell Fields became the first genuinely strong addition. Open space, verticality, and variety for vehicles. But California and Empire State only work partially. California suffocates helicopters with palm trees and narrow corridors, while Empire State in Conquest lags so hard it's physically unpleasant to play. Now the weapons. During the entire launch period, the game received 5 new guns. Only the S300S carbine and the DB12 shotgun are actually worth using. The rest are either niche or outright useless. Compared to Battlefield 4, where battle pickups and new weapons dropped in piles, this looks painfully minimal. Vehicles are an even bigger disappointment. The game added exactly 1 armored carrier. Just 1. And it's only available on 2 maps. For a franchise where vehicles have always been the heart of gameplay, this feels like a joke. The content exists, but it's overly rationed. The developers seem afraid to give players too much at once, and as a result, they give almost nothing. To be completely honest, Battlefield 6 trapped itself inside a progression system that works against the game, and you feel it in every part of the experience. Instead of the classic Battlefield model where you simply play, earn XP, and unlock content, Here you get artificial restrictions copied straight from Call of Duty. Want a camo for the AK-205? Then you're forced to level the UM40. Want a specialization for your class? Go grind dailies, even if you hate the mode they require. Want a new gun? You'll be farming tasks instead of just playing the game. This approach destroys Battlefield's core principle. Pick what you enjoy and build your own style. Now the game forces you to run for hours with weapons you dislike, on maps you don't enjoy, just to tick a box. The Battle Pass has the same problem. It's easily the longest in the entire franchise. If you're not grinding every day, finishing it is nearly impossible. Half of the rewards appear only after 50 hours, and even then, progress is throttled by weekly challenges. The game literally tells you, not today. Come back next Thursday. Vehicles are another pain point. Helicopter balance is broken. RPGs fly almost like lasers, so fast that the pilot is forced to hover in the stratosphere, because any low-altitude maneuver ends with a guaranteed hit. And ATGMs from tanks can knock you out from distances that used to be considered absurd. The entire skill ceiling of low-altitude flying, the very thing that defined Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, simply doesn't matter anymore. Even Portal, which could have been a saving grace, has effectively collapsed. Ripple Effect openly admitted that players simply aren't there. The mode survives only as an XP farm. Too few tools, limited map variety, zero motivation. Battlefield 6 tries to be modern, but too often forgets what actually makes Battlefield feel like Battlefield. And despite all its flaws, Battlefield 6 still manages to deliver moments no other shooter can. You feel this especially in Battle Royale. Yes, the map breaks apart, yes, there are freezes, yes, the netcode collapses at times, but the atmosphere, the pacing, the fusion of Warzone mechanics with classic Battlefield chaos, it works. Duo matches turn into tense hunts where every pixel and every footstep decides the outcome. Final circles, rooftop gunfights, desperate escapes from burning tanks. In these moments the game reminds you why we love Battlefield in the first place. There are real successes too. The audio has become one of the best in any mainstream shooter. Footsteps, vertical positioning, directional cues, everything is razor sharp. You always know exactly where the enemy is. Above you, below you, or behind a wall. It boosts immersion and brings back the tactical feeling the series was built on. But globally, Battlefield 6 stands at a crossroads. Content is scarce. 9 launch maps, 1 armored vehicle, a handful of guns, and questionable battle pickups. Instead of expanding the arsenal and vehicle pool, players get drowned in skins and an endless battle pass grind. People notice, and the player count drops from a stable 250 to 300,000 down to around 100 to 150,000. Still, here's the truth. The game is not a failure. It's an underpolished gem. Yes, the technical issues hurt. Yes, there's less content than in Battlefield 4. Yes, the progression and seasonal systems are often baffling. But the foundation is strong. Gunplay feels excellent, the vehicles are impactful, the new modes have potential, and the Battle Royale could become something huge. Battlefield 6 didn't disappoint. It simply hasn't grown into what it's meant to be. It needs more maps, more vehicles, fewer restrictions, and more confidence in borrowing from the best parts of its own legacy, not just from Call of Duty. And now the real question is, can the developers bring it to that level? Because if they can, the franchise has a genuine chance to reclaim its throne as the king of large-scale shooters.